Hello, interwebs. It is I, the little fuzzy gnome. It's a little fuzzy gnome look for me today because for some reason my wife thought it would be fun to leave the window open upstairs. Just so I don't feel too, comfortable. It's more like being back in the garage again. I'll let people come in because I know it always takes a while I set up, grab myself my little Google things. What do we got here? My Google channel here. There we go. Got that. Which one's live? It hasn't gone live yet. Has it not gone live yet? Really? Well, that seems weird. Upcoming. Oh, I see. That's the live. Oh my God, it's tried to. I guess every time I tried to get it going, I guess it failed miserably. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? David Sams, Eric Philpott, Moto, Amy Russell Photography from Ireland. Fantastic. Eternal Noob, Layer Cake, Picadelphon. All right, let me pop this out so I can see everyone at the same time. I do this. Then I go over to here, and then I can see all the chats. So got Jonathan MLH on Jonathan, you're on both. Mandy2462, hello. Let that one marinate. That's me. I'm marinating in my own juices right now because I've done my burn and learn. And then I waited way too long to come and talk to you because my wife was starving. I had to give her some lunch. And then I got distracted by some news stuff on the YouTubes, and but I just thought I would get my burn and learn stuff out of the way. Not out of the way. I did not want to do it today. Did not want. I mean, I know I say that every day, but I truly was thinking about making excuses and not doing it today, and I am glad that I ignored that. I did a nice long dog walk, came straight back and did the exercise. Just, what do they say? Eat the toad, eat the frog, whatever it is, where you just get the stuff you hate done first. And I did that. And then I guess sort of I put off the enjoyable part, which is actually sitting here and getting to chat and stuff. But so I got myself all cold. And then my wife decided to leave the windows open up here and it's freezing. Anyways, hello from France. Marco, hello. Did I see you in Paris? It was so much fun. God, I love that Paris thing. I'd like to do the Paris convention every single year, frankly. Who else we got here? Laura Richards, Amy Sanford, Daniel RBB. Busy week here for me in NH. Not sure where that is. Missed you the last few days. Yeah, well, I didn't actually. Did I stream yesterday? I don't think I did stream yesterday. Rebel Time Lady. Good time zone chat. Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon to you, Rebel. Brimstone. I love it. First time chat from Freelance Noob. Hello to you too. Tipsy Dungeoneer. That's a great name. Tipsy Dungeoneer is fantastic. Jonathan MLH, you over 35 minutes yet on the machine? I am. I got to 30, I think it's 38 minutes today. I did 38 minutes. I'm listening to, I can't remember where I'm at with everybody, letting everyone know about this. But I finished the Prions book. Yeah, no, I did talk about this. Okay, so I finished the book about Prions. Fascinating. And now I've started on the history of horror. And I'm really quite enjoying it. Although one of my pet peeves with history is just these lists of names and dates and this guy is spitting it out crazy fast. I think it was the introduction stuff was a lot of dates and just sort of getting a sort of a lay of the land. Now he's delving in a little bit more into stuff. So we're talking about he's gone all the way from late 1800s basically right up to now we're doing some Hammer stuff, where he's talking about the Hammer Studios, where they did all the, Curse of Dracula and all these great films. And as a result, I've been watching them. So I found the old Cat People movie, the wonderful old movie. And the pace of those movies, it's so funny how different the pace of the old theatrical horror stuff was. I mean, we're just not used to that. We're used to so much more happening, but it's just kind of fun. I put it on. I watched these just amazingly sexy and wonderful old black and white movie stars, and it was really fun to watch and to see where so much of the modern stuff gets its ideas from. I've seen Cat People before years ago, and I also, of course, I saw the David Bowie one as well, which I loved. Very different, and it was just it's kind of fun to watch. And then I watched another one which was just awful. It was, what was it called? It was the House of the Black Death or something. It was just, I mean, I guess it was the tail end of Lon Chaney Jr.'s career, and there was oh God, oh my God, there was a carradine in it. It was just, I don't know. I thought it was one of the ones that they'd said was a good one, but man, it was almost, it's basically unwatchable. I got to the point where I was making lunch while I was watching it. So I want to watch the new Archie Cary Grant movie. Oh yeah, I've heard they've done a new one of that. Phase 4 DVD has arrived. We'll get it posted to you as soon as I can. What? You've got a DVD of it? Mandy, what are you doing? You've got to stop being so nice to me. Phase 4. Well, do me a favor. Before you send it, watch it. I'd be really curious to know what you think of it. And you don't need to send me stuff, but thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. That's it. The Abominable Dr. Fives is a favorite classic. I'll have to check that one. Trip Optimum. MC Hammer? Exactly, James. You know, I'm going to share a very recent story. It happened literally just before I went live here, where my son said there's a new concert. There's a new weekend concert in Fortnite tomorrow. And I was like, oh, yeah, who's playing? And he's like, Dad. I'm like, it's a weekend concert. Who's playing? He's like, Dad, The Weeknd. I said, I know, it's on The Weeknd. What the hell? Am I not hearing something? What's going on? Well, it's The Weeknd. Of course, it's a band called The Weeknd that is doing the concert apparently, which could be kind of cool. I was a little underimpressed. I was just a little disappointed in the way the Eminem one went. There was a concert in Fortnite. This Eminem concert in Fortnite. I'm a big Eminem fan. Always liked Eminem. Although I've got to say, when the kid was first born, for some reason, kind of in the same way that I went off horror movies when the kid was first born, I kind of went off Eminem because there was so much of this horrible misogynist, violent stuff that I was a bit worried about. Anyways, but I just love his music. Jane and I have always been big fans of Eminem music. And so it was kind of fun to watch him in Fortnite doing their stuff. But I was concerned that it became an ad for LEGO Fortnite, which I'll talk about in a second. And it was very short little clips, and it was not as imaginative as the crazy, beautiful one that we saw. Is it Travis Scott? I think it was Travis Scott. Is that right? Yeah, the experts chimed in. That would be Baz. Travis Scott's concert in Fortnite. Everyone go check it out. I'll tell you why, because it's not going to be as good on Fortnite on YouTube or whatever as it was in Fortnite, but just the way they created this experience that was like, I hate the word interactive, but you were in it. You flew around, you saw stuff, these beautiful animated Travis Scotts with weird scratchy faced heads and things. I like the music as well, but it was a spectacle, an absolutely brilliant spectacle, and I'd highly recommend people to go see that. But as a result, set the bar very, very high for any Fortnite concerts in the future. So, so it was a little bit disappointed about that. So definitely check that out. But I'll see The Weeknd, I guess, this weekend, and LEGO Fortnite, which I am shocked, frankly, that LEGO hasn't got their shit together to have done this before, because it feels to me like LEGO is behind. There was a really fun realization in the news when I was listening to the news this morning. I listen to BBC News when I can in the morning, which is usually pretty well every morning. I sort of make tea and work on the kids' lunch or whatever, and I listen to the BBC News when my wife doesn't do it. This week, Jane's been, because of jet lag, she's been up really early, so she's been making all the lunches and everything. It's been great. I've been snoring away upstairs, sawing logs. Jane's doing all the work. It's been great. I think that she'll slowly get back onto her nights again, and then I imagine I'll pick up the mornings again. But it's been quite nice, actually. She did get to sleep in this morning, which I think she quite enjoyed. So I started listening to BBC News, and they were talking about LEGO and Fortnite, and they're saying, like, everyone knows LEGO, but maybe you've not heard of Fortnite. And I was like, oh my God, this so told me immediately what the audience for the BBC is, and it is not anyone under the age of like 25 at this point. So the fact that there are probably more kids know Fortnite than they know LEGO at this point, because LEGO is just, I mean, other than, I guess, the Marvel stuff, or the DC, superhero stuff, the video game stuff is the only way they know them. They only know them as a video game thing. They don't know them as I mean, sorry, people do know Lego obviously, but it's not nearly as big a thing as it was for the older generations. And I think Fortnite is, I don't even know what the numbers are on Fortnite now, but it's just crazy huge numbers. But I thought immediately I started going like, education. What's the education angle on this? Speaking of education, two really fun things that have come up recently. I had a chat with my friend who is a professor at the University of Toronto, and she's starting to sort out this escape room learning angle on something, I guess, next semester or next year. Maybe it's next year, I'm not sure. I guess there's a whole bunch of stuff she has to do beforehand. This is the, university stuff that, I wouldn't understand. Anyways, so we started talking about how to best do that. We're thinking we're probably going to start with, the equivalent of like escape mail stuff, these sort of envelope puzzles that people can solve without having to get into all of the mechanical building stuff. Like, let's just start with the process of escaping as a educational in, and then we're going to be looking at biology. Actually, is going to be the first one I think we're going to look at, because biology seems like the one that's least suited to escape room learning, and I think as will stand out then as a very good example of how you can make curriculum work for anything. So I'm sure James R. Gurney will get many a desperate call from me in the near future going like, what the hell am I going to do? And of course you got Lance Gimpy G. Carr, who's helping me out. We're going to make sure that we get some accessibility right from the beginning, that this is just built into it. And I think what's nice about it being the envelope, the written form of an escape room instead of actually having to build one to start, is that it really does keep it open to a lot of people. I mean, there's very, very few people who can't be involved in some way or another when it is a almost like a paper-based thought process. And I say that, though, as I say that, I suppose there are some things that needed to be sort of lined up, and the one that we did had a string that had to be used to figure out how far away the castle was or whatever it was. There's a lot of little things there that I suppose do require some semblance of movement, and certainly sight. I guess sight would be an issue as well. Anyways, but again, these are all things that are just great to start thinking about from the beginning, because we have a tendency to sort of build things and then tack on these things at the end. Whereas if you can create it from the beginning, it's just going to make it a way cooler experience, because it's going to obviously be accessible to way more people. And also I think it's going to force the designers to come up with clever ways of dealing with this stuff. And again, as I say, it's an educational thing right now. So the hope is to tie it into curriculum, have some university students run through the process and figure out what works and what doesn't, have some sort of provable research behind it. This is an Elizabeth with a Z was taught me this, about the idea that you need to have, there needs to be, some kind of scientific sort of proof behind it, some data behind what you're doing. I mean, we all think that escape room learning is a great way to learn. Let's get that documented and make sure that it's being sort of proven as a form. Again, the other thing that I'm pushing for on this is, sorry, I'm sort of going down a rabbit hole on this, but I'm so excited about it. The idea of I've seen a lot of escape rooms out there that are educational, that they have it all set up, the kids do it, they figure out, they solve it, they feel great, yay. But what I really think is missing here is this component that they can design their own escape rooms. I think that's almost more important to me, because I feel like you can get into it by doing a couple of escape rooms. They get excited about it. They like the puzzles and stuff, but let's see them create those puzzles. Like, let's see them try to apply biology to an escape room type format, or let's see how they can pull together the different subjects that they're taking at school into one project. And be able to work together as a team with, whether they're actors or physicists or whatever the hell they're doing at the time. So I'm really looking forward to that aspect of it as well. I think I just love it. I love it. And Lance and I have been talking about it for a while, and I just think it'll be a great start for this. And I'm really excited that it's biology as well. She's also a biology teacher as well, not biology professor as well. So I think that's one of the reasons why she wants to do that. And we sort of agreed that we were saying that biology would just be so difficult to figure out that way. So Mark Lapointe, bings, hello Mark Lapointe. Slayer HC, hello there, Slayer. Who else we got? Rogue comment. It should be rogue comment is what it should be. Metrics, hard numbers. That's it. Good words. Yes. Hey, Mr. Hewlett, everyone. Soul Java already being very formal. I love it. Thank you, Soul Java. Optimum says that's a cool idea. Great. Cool. Yeah, I think it's kind of neat. Again, once we've got some proof showing that that's the, that would be great. Rogue comment says, I disagree. LEGO is the largest toy company in the world now, bigger than Hasbro even. I know, Rogue, but here's the funny thing. I think while people may know what LEGO is a different thing to the more grown-up population than the kids. So when we think of LEGO, we think of it as a toy company. When a lot of the kids of my son's age and a little older, they think of it as a gaming company. Like they think of it as the LEGO games that they played. I think that's the difference there. Whereas, so listen to this BBC broadcast, and the assumption was like, well, everyone knows about the Lego and building Lego blocks and stuff. They just don't. It's just not the case. Yes, you're absolutely right. It is a huge company. It is incredibly popular, and it is known by a lot of people. But I think you may find that Fortnite is even more so at this point. I mean, the numbers that they've got hosted on Fortnite now, maybe someone can pull them up for me if they see them, but are just phenomenal, like crazy. Oh, LEGO's definitely branched out. They've made a lot of smart decisions. I hope so. I mean, that is the, I've been wondering why they haven't done something sooner. Like, why are they not Roblox? I mean, how the hell is Roblox who they are? It should have been Lego. I mean, Lego could have done that and would have run with it, and it would have been, it would have been a whole different world, I guess. But, it just seems crazy to me. Hi, Mr. Hewlett says Crossigrim, or Crosigrim. Crosigrim, that sounds better. Hi, Mr. Hewlett. Been a while. So, when are you going to be on the Shuttle Pod show and Hot Ones? We need you on both. Oh, Hot Ones. Is that the Wings one? Man, I don't know. I've done so much damage to my stomach over the years. I can't imagine doing hot wings is a good idea. And also, I don't want people to see me, all snotty and gross after some chicken wings. Not you too. Christian Unpronounceable is also saying that, oh yeah, do hot ones. It's not really my choice. Is it hot ones or jolly? I don't know what jolly. I don't know what. And you kids are also hip. I don't know any of these things. I actually played with my Capsella set more. Oh, really? Capsella? I never got into Capsella. British version of Lego years ago was a beta builder. White bricks only. Really? I don't remember that. Moi from Germany. Hello, Andy Ladwig. My God, we got a lot of people in here. I can't afford Lego as an adult, which is a real shame. There are some fabulously nerdy sets out there. Yeah, me too, Rebel Time Lady. They're really expensive. Lego was always pretty expensive, though, wasn't it? Was it ever cheap? As a kid, I never thought about it, but of course I wasn't having to pay for it. But now, yeah, God, I spent a fortune on it. Although I've got to say, one of the things about Fortnite is having all those little Lego figures makes me want to get some more Lego figures, because that's something I can't afford. Like, you can't afford the little Lego figures. They add up pretty quick, I guess. But, the big sets are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But you could buy, like, $20 worth of little Lego figures and get a lot of joy out of those, too. I like the idea of collecting those. Forgotten Bird of Hermes. Boy, that's an awful lot of a name. Are you harvesting energies of Adam? I do. Am I harvesting energies of the atom? I guess so, in a way, sort of. I feel like it'd be great for critical thinking skills. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Is it Kalen Scott? Have I got that right? Kalen Scott? That's my thing. Is critical thinking obviously a big part of it. It's also teamwork, and it's also, jumping between these pillars of learning. They're not, you can tie geography to history or geography to drama and or science and physics and pull them all together into one project. I just think it would be really fun. You've got the electronic nerds working on the electronics. You've got the physics nerds working on the practical stuff, the engineering side of stuff. You've got the history buffs doing the history stuff. You got the English literature students, or I shouldn't say English literature anymore. They've sort of branched it out, haven't they? But writing students could be writing stuff. Drama could be doing drama. Can be dramatic. They could be coming up with characters and stuff. I just think there's so many different things there. COVID Crew New Zealand. Is that right? NL? Is that no, I guess it would be New Zealand. Or COVID Crewnal. I don't know. But true. Thank you. We have a partnership with Lego at work, but I tend to buy the generic bricks at home. Lego is just so expensive. Who makes generic? I've never found generic bricks that are as good as Lego. Like, there were these ones, what were they called? Blocks. Mega blocks. They were terrible. Like, they just sucked. Netherlands. There you go. Netherlands. That's it. The Netherlands. Well, welcome. Hey, guess what? I saw you and Joe Flanagan alongside Jason Momoa in the new show See. Oh, fantastic. Really excited to get you all back together. Oh, my God. It was so much fun. So much freaking fun. Plus, I got to play evil. You know, it's the closest thing I got to an evil McKay that I'm ever going to get. So, you know, but you're English. Okay, good. Well, you're obviously doing a very good job with your English there, whatever. Soul Java says, who remembers those wooden connector bricks back in the 80s? I do remember them. I remember there was the log cabin things. What were they called? They were like little wooden blocks with little things missing, and you could build. I used to love those. I used to love them. I've had the same experience with third-party Lego style blocks. Yeah, Lincoln Logs. That was it. I don't think they weren't called Lincoln Logs up here. It was too American, probably. I really want to see. Where is it available to watch in the UK? Apple TV. Apple TV is the only place I think you can see it at this point. Well, it's the only place you ever could, I guess. Lincoln Log. That's so funny. Mega Blocks. We got it all. I should check out the YouTube chat. See what's happening over here. When I'm on a Lego panel at a convention, Prior often asks, "What's the worst brick to step on?" When I'm on a Lego, you're at a Lego panel. Do you do a lot of Lego, Moto? What's the worst brick to step on? I know the dragon heads from Ninjago are pretty freaking painful. I've stepped on one of those before. That was not pretty. And you break them too. It's even more annoying when you stepped on them, you get injured, and you've broken them and have to replace them. That's even worse. So, well then I'm sure, Mandy, you can find some other evil way of getting the show. I'm sure someone will have some way of getting it. I'm sure, because yes, it is yet another damn subscription service to sign up to. So, what other exciting things I have to tell you? I had a great chat with Andrea out in Italy, who's my friend out there. He is about to do a TED Talk about accessibility, which I think is fantastic. In fact, they were so excited about it that his local, the Italian BBC, whatever they're called, have taken an interest as well. And yeah, he seems to be doing very well, and he's got a new pad, he's a new place to hang out, and what other exciting things? He's using Tobii to control his computer, the Tobii, which is an eye tracking thing, and it seems to work pretty well for him. He was apologizing about how slow the typing was, but you know, honestly, it really wasn't bad. I mean, I came into the conversation knowing that that's how we were going to converse through text, but because we've chatted a couple times before, but in fact, I took him up the CN Tower. He came to visit. Him and his mom and his caregiver came to visit, and so we went up and had lunch at the CN Tower, and the lunch was terrible, and the service was awful, and I had an argument with the manager about them charging the caregiver and Andrea for the food, because I guess they make all their money by gouging tourists when they show up for lunch, and so they wanted to make sure they gouged them as well. But the CN Tower was kind of fun. It was a fun experience. It was nice to chat with him, and it's definitely a weird dynamic, because you're talking, you see how fast I talk, like I am ridiculous, and Andrea will answer a question from a few things back. So it becomes a little disjointed at times, but again, this is what I love about the idea of adding accessibility to all these things like escape room stuff, is that you learn that there isn't only one way to communicate with people, that not everyone communicates the same way, and that there are different ways of doing it, and I think it's a good skill and an interesting sort of perspective on things to have as well. Anyways, so yeah, it's fun. I wish it wasn't so complicated. What do we got? I still got to get it. What's this? Played the demo, was kind of complicated, but I'm no gamer. Which one are you talking about? You talking about Lego? Lego, that's child's play. Try stepping on a jack from. Oh my God, yeah, that's a disaster. I wish it wasn't so complicated. What are we finding complicated here? Played the demo. Let's have a look at this. See what the chat's going on about here. Lego Robot Head. Yeah, that would probably hurt too. What's this about Stargate chunk in the title? Any news on the new pops? No, I'm the Stargate chunk. I'm a great sweaty Stargate chunk. I try to come up with some way of insulting myself in the description of every single one of these. This is a Burn&Learn, by the way. I should tell it. Oh my God, I haven't started on that. So this is a Burn&Learn. This is my bid to stay alive and fit long enough to enjoy the golden years with my brilliant, beautiful wife, Jane, and my fabulous son, Sebastian, and unfortunately, our wretched pain in the butt of a mutt that is Huzzah. I hate exercise, so I like to learn something while I'm exercising. I mean, I think I hate exercise more than most people in that I despise exercise. I hate it feels like a waste of time. So I like to learn something while I'm doing it. So I've been listening to this book on the guy who discovered prions. I'm now listening to this book, which is I didn't realize when I got it, but it seems to be some kind of a university textbook or on the history of horror, and it's just fascinating. It's just I said to Jane that I love the idea of getting a sort of a background knowledge in this genre that I so enjoy, and how there's a lot of science fiction elements to horror as well. There's a lot of crossover in that regard, but it also crosses over with comedy, which I don't usually like, and there's westerns. There's all. I mean, horror just covers so many different things. It's always kind of a fun surprise. So, I've lost over 80 pounds. What? On, what is it? Manjaro Zepbound since March. I don't know. That could be another language to me. I have no idea what that is. Someone else has got it too. Try reducing your stream quality. Someone having difficulty with it? Manjaro is a drug. Okay. Is it like one of those? What is it called? What is the one that everyone in Hollywood's taking right now? Can't remember. Ozempic. Is it Ozempic? Is it like Ozempic? Is that what it's like? I had a friend who took it. I was very surprised that they'd taken it because they just needed. It is like Ozempic. Yeah. Okay. I have a friend who lost over 100 because apparently it attacks the addictive quality. Like it takes away. They're saying that it actually stops you wanting alcohol as well. Stream is fine for you. Good to know. Ozempic is second fiddle now. Really? So this is Manjaro is the drug. I don't know. If I could do something like that, I guess that'd be fantastic. I just kind of want to be fit though too. I don't just want to lose weight. I would like to be fit, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's probably a good mix. I should also eat better. I'm on Ozempic, but not for weight loss. It's almost impossible to get because people take it for weight loss. Oh, wow. What else is it good for? You probably could get Zepbound. Read about recent psychology on exercise. Some people are hard-coded to enjoy it. Others aren't. I am hard-coded not to enjoy it. Manjaro is a Linux distribution. Oh, well, that's obviously going to get you to lose weight. LOL. Actually, I take Cractom, and I'm down to a perfect weight, heart healthy. My fats are all within perfect levels, but I don't recommend it. It's addictive. Really? Ozempic can now be available to the diabetics that need it. Oh yeah, diabetes, of course. Yeah, diabetes. That's yeah. Don't worry, mate. Our age, we need to adapt. Yeah, I mean that's it. Look, I like science. If it's proven and it works and it's helping people, then fantastic. They're talking about this sort of. I'm using Ozempic as a sort of a generic, as a Xerox type term. But these weight loss drugs, they're saying that it is going to have a huge impact on American society because there's such a huge portion of America that is overweight. It's probably beyond America, but America in particular, I know they were talking about. And they were saying that it's even just things like the airlines will use less fuel because their passengers will weigh less. That there will be, snack foods and the Coca-Colas and all the junk drinks and junk foods that are out there are going to suffer because of this, and that their stocks will probably go down. There was an investor who was talking about the need that this could have a larger effect on America than AI, which we'll see. AI is another one that I've got to say I'm fascinated by. I looked into Google's new demo of Gemini, which is their Chat GPT-4 competitor. But already there's a bunch of drama about it. God, AI does not happen without drama. Like, first off, all that OpenAI stuff was just insane. Now it's that Google's presentation of it was not as transparent as people would like. In fact, was it TechCrunch? One of my one of my sites was saying that it's a fake, that they faked it basically, that they put together a video showing what this Gemini thing could do, and it's not. That's just, it was implied that this is how it worked, and that's just not true. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But it is funny to me how much drama there is around the AI stuff, the AI community. I guess because people are so worked up about this stuff, and I get nervous about it because I feel like what's going to happen here? Like I'm using it. I love it. You know me, I'm a nerd. I'm like, I don't just play a nerd on TV. I am a total nerd. So I'm loving the stuff. I'm sucking it up like a Dyson. And yet there's a bit of me that's nervous because I go, what's going to happen when everyone's using this stuff for free? And all of a sudden they go, okay, let's Google this. Let's all right, fine. It's like $5 a month. And then it's $10 a month. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's so many of these services, these subscription services that I've got onto, and they suck you in with this free stuff, and then they charge you an arm and a leg gradually as it goes along. But so just a little bit. I'm going to be against AI until robot wives are cheap and socially acceptable. All right, Saucefire, that's fine. That's fine. You go. You go. I haven't felt sick at all, just the constipation. Oh, that's great, Mark LaPointe. Thanks. So, thank you for your sharing. That's fantastic. No, I had a friend who took Ozempic for a while. Again, I was very surprised that they were on it. And he couldn't function. He just couldn't function. He struggled with it entirely. He thought it was absolutely miserable. It made him. He did lose a lot of weight, but he was not happy with it at all. And his family was even quite happy when he came off it, because apparently he was just lacking a sparkle that he had before. So, I mean, I guess it's, as always, it's not for everyone. I think, as with all science, if you change something, it changes something else. So I'm curious to see how this stuff sort of shakes down over the years. My relationship with food increases during the holidays. Exercise is a must. The funny thing is, I feel like exercise has almost no impact on my weight. I really don't. I mean, maybe I just don't do enough exercise, but I feel like the only thing that truly affects my weight is the food I eat. And if for almost a year, I guess, I was doing a low carb, no bread, tracking my calories diet and exercising. And it was the most effective way to lose weight. And I did it very, very slowly. It happened over a year. And, it was the most significant weight loss I'd ever had. And weirdly, it was not particularly difficult. What I think happens with any kind of a diet, though, is it resets your relationship with food. Like, I remember years and years ago, in the evil days of my first marriage, she was obsessed with this diet. It was this fat flush diet thing, and so she had us both on this diet. And and that's I'm not blaming her. I chose to do it, so that's on me. But we started doing this diet, and it was the first time I'd ever dieted. Like, I had never been on a diet in my entire life until I was well into my until I was into my 30s, and I've never been the same. I honestly never been the same. Like, I think I did quite well before the first diet, and now I feel like it's like I have a conscious battle going on when it comes to food all the time now. Which I usually lose. Usually the sugar and the fats and the stuff, they wins out, because I've always, the comfort food angle of stuff, like, let's celebrate by having a nice pizza. You know what I mean? I feed, in a way, I'm feeding my son poison as a way of a reward, which I know is ridiculous, but it's but it really has changed the way I think about food. And I think about food where I never used to. Like, until you start dieting, I don't think you. Yeah, I think it really has a distinct change on the way you perceive food and the way you think about it. Pizza tastes amazing, though. You're right. Pizza's my favorite food. I love pizza. I shouldn't say pizza's my favorite food. Food is my favorite food. I like food. So that's definitely a part of it. 2023 has been really, it's been bad, huh? 2023, yeah, it's been a weird one. The weird thing about 2023 was I felt like this. I came into it thinking this is it. Here we go, and it was this sort of stuttering start to it. So I've got great hopes for 2024, but we'll see. Been there, done that. Results not fitting. Now it does. Pizza tastes amazing. It's very true. Food shouldn't be a reward because of the hold it has on us at times. Yeah, that's it. I carry 10 extra pounds on my stomach that no matter how I diet and exercise, and I do so very consistently, will just not go away. So maybe, Jared, maybe something like the Ozempic thing is the way to go. Who knows? I was happier during lockdown. You and me both. No, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, I'm not going to take that back. But I must say I have very fond memories of Baz and I doing a lot of gaming and hanging out a lot, and my wife being around, and it was just I am a homebody for sure. My friends call me an extrovert hermit. I would much rather be living in my house, and we had Baz really enjoyed it to some extent. I mean, I feel guilty saying that because so many millions of people died because of it, but I did enjoy it. I did very much enjoy it, and there was as an actor, there's always this slight fear of missing out, the FOMO that happens when you go like, oh God, what am I missing jobs I should be going for? Or is there anything I should be, doing? There was a wonderful feeling of like, there's nothing to miss out on. I can just focus on my family and having fun together and figuring out the education stuff. And not that it was without worry, but I know Baz and I really enjoyed it. Jane did not. Jane is a wonderful social human who loves people and loves being around people, and people love being around her, and I think she really missed it. I felt like that really, it ate away at her in a way that it didn't eat away at Baz and I. Baz and I we just loved it. Family first. I never got locked down. I was essential. Yeah, see? That's the way to go. Were we essential? Because I still had to do films. They made me do movies even though there was COVID going on. Pandemic was not a big change in my quality of life. I'd already rage quit and told the company I'd run out my notice because the office was toxic. Well, there you go. So you basically, yeah. See, for me, my joke was that the world discovered what it was like to be an unemployed actor over COVID. A good way to decrease weight loss is to reduce input. If you're eating 4 slices of that pizza, stop at 3. Apply that to other foods too. It's so true. And I'll tell you, and just to go a little further on that with Trioptimum, what Trioptimum was saying there is that if you get a little app on your phone that you use to track calories and just jot down what you're having, and the fact that you have to jot it down dramatically affects what you eat. When you write it down and go like, that is how many calories? Holy crap. Maybe I don't need 2 Big Macs. Maybe I don't even need 1. In fact, while I was doing that, I would walk into fast food places and be like, do you have a salad? Like, I do not want to eat 5,000 calories worth of food. It ain't worth it. Now it is, but that's beside the point. Doctors are the biggest crybabies ever. Are they? My father is like, well, my father's a funny one actually. He's a doctor, so personal accountability, yes. But I think I'm discovering as I get older that everything is a spectrum. Everything seems to be, everyone's perspective on things is slightly different. We were talking about, my wife and I were talking about my school days and how I was I was an unhappy kid. And part of that was because I hated school. I hated school. And it wasn't even, when I found something that I liked and I focused on, I would do incredibly well. And then the teachers would all go like, why are you so lazy with all the other stuff? And it was like, it's a classic ADD thing. I don't feel like a victim or anything. I'm just saying that it's just interesting looking back on it now. In my mind, I was lazy. I only did the stuff that I could focus on. But focus was a real issue for me. I think the mentality is that, well, everyone has problems focusing. You just have to force yourself to. So I feel like the same thing probably applies to things like eating as well, where there's going to be, some people are going to have like either compulsive eating disorders or maybe not even an eating disorder. Maybe it's just a propensity to eat more of something than they should. Some people like bread and desserts. Some people don't. I mean, things are going to be easier for different people. So I feel like it's easy to say like, well, you got to be tough and just see it through. And I don't think that's necessarily the case for everybody. I think it probably is for me. I know that I can do it. It's just that, there's a wonderful line in what is it called? Notting Hill. And Julia Roberts says, I've been hungry since I was 16. And the idea being is that she's a movie star. She has to look like a movie star. Movie stars are unrealistically thin or fit or beautiful or whatever. There's an aspect to her life that she's pointing out was just that you don't eat normally. I mean, the perfect example is that guy who used to be on Parks and Rec and is now a Guardian of the Galaxy. He talks about how eating becomes medicine. Eating becomes just you eat what you're supposed to eat and then you step away. There's no enjoyment to food anymore once you're operating at that kind of superhero level of fitness. You don't enjoy your food. You just eat the food you have to maintain whatever your body should look like, type thing. So it's an interesting one. And keep in mind there's also a massive industry around this stuff. I mean, these pharmaceutical companies making diet drugs and the supplements and all the various different things that you can supposedly do. Everyone has a different trick for this stuff. A lot of it is anecdotal as well. Although I'm assuming there must be some fairly good research on the Ozempic type drugs that affect your desire to eat. I mean, it would be neat to be able to take something that made you less craving for food. I mean, that would definitely be useful, I guess. I mean, I'm a big fan of cereal. Like, I love my bowl of cereal. Like, I could happily have 3-4 bowls of cereal without even thinking of it. But in the morning, I force myself to have a couple of eggs and sometimes, toast usually, because that sees me through better in the morning. Like, I find just sugary stuff in the morning or just bread in the morning or a croissant or that kind of stuff, it just doesn't see you through for long. It just doesn't give you the kind of energy you need. A couple of eggs, I find, just gets me through the day better, even if I don't feel like them, I bet you're feeling pretty great now. I feel a little better. Yeah, I've had a lot of meal protein powders over the years for free, and I frequently never finish them because they aren't that tasty. Yeah, you know what I used to love, though? I used to love the Soylent. Oh, I used to love my Soylents. And then Jane pointed out that I was having them along with my meals. So I was having my meals and drinking the Soylents. They're not really the way to go. But I gotta say, if someone could just give me a pill to take instead of food, I would do that in a second. Happily do that. Just to not be hungry, have it all sorted, that'd be great. I imagine Jason Momoa also had not much of an enjoyment factor of eating. Am I right? Yeah, Daryl Trekkie. It's funny. I've said this story before, but when he was doing Conan in Bulgaria, I visited him, and he had his little sort of encampment and all of his folks around him. But he also had a trainer who would make him train 2 or 3 times a day. And I mean, big training sessions, not like little ones. Like, he had specific things that they were working out that he had to do. And they would feed him, like, it felt like every 15 minutes. Like, he would just get protein all the time. And he wasn't allowed any beer, he wasn't allowed any of this, any of that. I mean, obviously he would cheat once in a while, as we all do. But it was a very, very strict diet. And I always thought, like, it would be fun to have a project that had the money to see you through that, right? I mean, to have a project that could say, okay, great, yeah, you're starting in 4 months' time, so you've got 4 months to do a watermelon diet or something, like whatever that, the crazy what is it, the Machinist? I think it was The Machinist. Cameron Bale did what's his name? Christian Bale did that movie where he lost crazy amount of weight by just eating like watermelon. None of this is healthy, though, right? And you don't keep it off when you starve yourself like that, I'm sure. But the idea that having the time and someone to oversee that process would be amazing. It'd be amazing, That's Adderall. What are we talking about now? Where do we go? How are we on Adderall now? Call me Cal or Captain. It's Captain Calvin Cat. Oh, there you go. Hey, Captain Calvin Cat. How are you? Although I like Der Alt Trekkie. It just sounds pretty cool, too. I chugged Pixie Sticks and Ensure at conventions in place of meals, along with copious amounts of coffee. I don't recommend it, though. Yeah, Rebel Time Lady. I'm coffee. I'm terrible with that, although I am doing decaf coffee again now. So I've got to say, from the moment forward when each and every food will become containing insects, I'm eating less. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think, you raise a really good point there. I think just the nature, food is going to become more expensive. I think meat is going to become prohibitively expensive because of its requirements from a global warming standpoint, as well as just the actual cost of raising the cattle and stuff. Although I guess we could get into lab grown meats and stuff, but even then I think it's going to be expensive. And I think we are going to see more bugs and stuff showing up on our plates in the future. I mean, we see this with the ocean as we slowly get rid of all the various different fish, the traditional fish that we've eaten. We start finding other things to eat that would not have been our first choice. And I mean, lobster, a perfect example, was one that we didn't eat to start. And then as we overfish various different things, we start literally, dredging the bottom of the ocean looking for other things that we can eat and that could be fished cheaply. Unless we have sustainable approaches to this stuff, I just don't know how we're going to keep doing that. I mean, could you imagine if we approached farming the way we approach fishing? Fishing, we go out and we just hope to catch massive amounts of fish, and we pick them, we scoop them up every year, we dump them in a thing, and we go and we sell them around the world. Could you imagine if we did the same thing with cattle? The cattle just ran freely wherever. You just went and looked for them. You can't sustain that. Why on earth would we be able to sustain that in the ocean too? So I saw briefly on TV yesterday some dude chomping down on a scorpion. Woo! Yeah, I think maybe wait on that one. Yeah, I think it was just watermelon. I think that's what Christian Bale sounds pretty intense when it comes to the acting stuff too. But yeah, apparently he did like this crazy diet that was like just watermelon, and I think they were worried about him on set because he was literally starving to death. So I'm fine eating bugs. The bugs have had it too easy for too long. Saucefire is taking out on the bugs now. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I am, yes, that Burn and Learn is complete. What have we got this weekend? What have I got going on this weekend? I think I'm going to try very hard to get on Tech Talk this week with Barnacle and Ox. So that'll be tomorrow afternoon, I guess. And we'll see where we go from there. I really want to do another Tech Bandits. I haven't done Tech Bandits forever. So I'll have to check in with our Vibe Pup and see when he's around and see if there's a chance of doing something like that in the future as well, because that would be kind of fun. But of course, there's also Monday. Monday is Damn Dirty Apes with my friend Gimpy G. So tune in for that. And what other things do I have to tell you? Yeah, I guess there'll be probably another Burn and Learn on Sunday, because I'm trying to do every other day. I gotta say, if I do every day, it's not good for my knees and my legs and my joints and stuff. I'm getting too old. I'm an old man, Back in the old Stargate days, and I was a wee lad running around, fresh as a daisy I was. Now it's all creaky and stuff. All right, everyone, be safe, be kind, be brilliant. No, I've changed it. Be brave, be kind. Is that what I just say? Be brave, be kind, be brilliant. Yeah, I like that. Be brave, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! See you.